Murph Prep Monday, April 27th, 2020. We are doing our Murph Prep workout, which is going to be very similar to Murph, but we'll substitute ring rows for pull-ups today. So if you want to RX plus this one, throw your vest on, 20-pound, 14-pound vest. Keep it on the entire time. We're going to start with a 400-meter run, then 10 ring rows, 20 push-ups, and 30 air squats. You can stop and rest and then start again as much as you want. And as far as how I would suggest, start testing out your Murph breakup now. You do have to do 10 ring rows, then 20 push-ups, then 30 air squats. But if you're planning on breaking up your push-ups by sets of 5, then do that now. So maybe you do 5-5 on the ring row, maybe you do 5-5-5 on the push-ups, and then the air squats, go at a pace where you can do 30 unbroken. Try pacing these things. If your 30 air squats are broken into sets of 10, but all 10 are, very fast, then try doing 30 air squats where you're just, and there's no real pause. And you know what I mean by pause. I just paused right now. Try doing 30 that way. So you're gonna go 30 unbroken on the air squats, catch your breath. Then on the ring rows and push-ups, you can go your normal pace, okay? Score is gonna be rounds plus reps. Run will count as 1. So you have to come back from the 400 meter for you to count that run as a rep. So if you're thinking about how many rounds you're gonna get, let's just say the run takes you 2 minutes, and then ring rows 30 to 45 seconds, and then push-ups really depends on how much you break it up to start with, because the more you break it up now, the less you'll have to break it up later, hopefully. Because if I start with 5-5 and then I end up doing singles, it took me 30 seconds to do the first set of push-ups, took me a minute and a half to do the last set. So that's a big factor. And then 30 air squats, let's just say it takes about a minute. So we're looking at, depending on not counting the push-ups, let's just say it takes you 3.5 minutes to do the other stuff, not counting the push-ups. So let's say 4 to 5 minutes per round, you're looking at 4 or 5 rounds. Just depends on how fast. So if I do 4 rounds plus the run, it's 4 plus 1. All right. The run can be substituted for other cardio pieces, but if you're doing an erg, then you're going to use 500 meters as the distance. The jump rope and jumping jacks and mountain climber are, of course, options, but getting close to 2 minutes or so is tough. It's going to be a lot of those movements, but you can do that. The ring rows could be substitute for bent over rows, or if you're really feeling ambitious, even looking at later in the week, all the pull-ups, you could still do pull-ups today if you wanted to as well. But if you're doing the ring row, make sure that you're staying hollow as you come up to touching your chest to the rings. And then on the push-ups, you can always scale it back to box push-ups or wall push-ups. Side note, on all the cardio pieces, feel free to cut that back if that's what you think will take you equal time to everybody else. So if your 300 meters takes as long as my 400, then you could do 300 meters instead. That's a good scaling option. Any other questions, just email me or comment below, and we can cover that before you do the workout. Okay, let's move into the warm-up. So the warm-up is line drills. We're gonna do 10 alternating, or you could just find a distance in your house, down and back, maybe 20, 25 feet. We're gonna do 10 alternating lunges. Touch your knee to the ground every time. Try to stay upright in your chest as you do these so you're not falling forward. Then we'll do 10 side lunges. I mentioned it last week, but I want you to keep in mind, every time you do a side lunge, please step out to do it. What I mean there is, when I step out, don't do this. That's not the same thing. I'm stepping back and then stepping out. Good. Toy soldier, trying to keep my knee locked as I kick up. Hitting my hand does make it feel different than if I don't hit my hand, if I just do this, or if I just do this. Hitting my hand actually gives it a muscle reflex response, which is great to warm up with. Then we're gonna do walking quad, or for me, it's just standing quad. My knee stays pointed at the ground. I'm gonna try and squeeze my butt the second I hit my butt with my heel. And that is the idea. I'm trying to hit my butt with my heel while staying upright. Don't do this. That's not a good stretch, okay? Next one, we'll do the knee hug. I'm gonna grab my knee and then go up on my down foot. So I'm going up on my toe. Makes it a more intense stretch on the down leg hip flexor. Then we'll do the leg cradle. I'm gonna put my right knee in my right hand and my left foot, or my right hand, my left, right knee in my right hand, right foot in my left hand, and then go up. I'm trying to get the outer hip area, piriformis, IT band area. This is a great stretch for that. Then we're actually going to do the hurdle step. Imagining that there's hurdles and my left leg will be stepping on the outside of the hurdle. So I'm going to go like that. Okay. Now to make this even faster, we're going to imagine hurdles on both sides, but staggered. So I'm going to go out and out. I'm not trying to turn my whole body. I'm just getting that hip action. Basically, we're trying to take the femur through the full range of motion of the hip. And to do that, you can't move your entire pelvis. So if I do something like that really destroys or defeats the purpose of the stretch, right? So I'm going to keep it stiff, keep it down, and keep it down. Okay? From there, we're going to do bunny hops. Why do we do bunny hops? Just to get the muscle reflexes acting up, and then also to get the joints warm. Those first couple of steps when you actually really run, if you're not warm, that could be a problem. Most people pull their hamstring right off the bat when they first fire off the line, not 200 meters into the race. Doing toe in, sorry if you can't tell. Go toe, heel. I'm trying to make my toes point at each other. I'm not the greatest at it, so in case you're wondering. Toe out, again, toe, heel. So I'm stepping toe, heel. This is trying to get the muscles in the hips all moving and getting out of the way and warm. Calf stretch is next. If I do it on the ground, I'm just gonna cross one leg over, lock my right leg, my knee, and then push back into the heel of my right foot. And I'll switch. That's my calf stretch. 20-second calf stretch. 20-second wrist stretch. I'm not even gonna go anywhere. I'm just gonna stand right here, lock out my elbow, and pull my fingers back. Okay. Then we'll do a passive hang. You could do that from whatever you're planning on doing for ring rows. Maybe you got that towel tied around the vertical post, and you're just gonna hang. So that could be a passive hang. I could grab the whiteboard and grab and sit back. That could be the passive hang, that's fine too. Front rack stretch. If you're, again, not holding anything, or you don't have anything near you, you just do a tricep stretch. So I've grabbed my elbow, almost doing a top half scratch test, and then I'll do the other one. Excellent. Okay, I'm gonna grab the whiteboard for this. All right, our movement prep. We're gonna do 3 rounds, 5 squat therapy at 4-0-4-0, which means 4 seconds to go down, 4 seconds to come up, no pauses. Then we're actually gonna do side plank rotations. You guys might remember this from some of the warm-up stuff. Then we're gonna do alternating Spider-Man push-ups and 4 ring rows. Make it an easy ring row, so keep your vest off for this part, and also maybe if you plan on going deep into the rig for the ring rows, take a couple steps out, okay? Scroll down so I can see more of this. Okay. So for an example of these things, put my hands up, my feet are in squat stance position, and then I'm gonna drive my knees towards my toes and apart, staying upright. Oh yeah. We're gonna count. So let's count 4, 3, 2, 1. No pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. You can see my elbows bend. That's because I'm very tight in the upper thoracic area. Side plank rotations. We're gonna stack our feet together beyond the forearm. So my feet are together. I'm in a straight line. and I'm gonna rotate around the down shoulder. It's not about this motion, it's about I'm moving around my shoulder. So if you're just doing this, that doesn't do anything, right? So if you just watch that shoulder, it's getting full. Basically what we're doing is loading the shoulder in the proper position and doing this. So do 4 on each side, then we're gonna do 4 Spider-Man push-ups. In the push-up position. 1, 2, 4 of those, and then 4 ring rows. I'm not gonna go over to the rig, but I think you guys know what I mean by stepping back and allowing for an easier time with the rings. All right, we did 3 rounds of that. That's our movement prep. Now let's go into specific prep. We're gonna run 200 to 400 meters. Time yourself so that you have an idea of whether or not you're gonna make it to 4 rounds with this workout. And then we'll do 10 push-ups and 10 air squats. We already did our ring row prep, so we're good. But on the push-ups, make sure that you're locking out. Again, to look at my push-up form, I'll face you guys. When I lower down, my hands are at my chest and I look like an arrow. Chin is tucked, I'm not looking up like I'm in the army. Looking at it from the side. I'm gonna lower down, my chest hits. Notice that my knees didn't hit, but my knees stayed locked. And then I push up. I'm keeping my abs tight so that when I do lower down, I'm not relaxing. And that's gonna be the best way to get better at these, is to force yourself to go the full range of motion. Chest hits the ground at the top. Try to forcefully feel that elbow lock out. And also videotape yourself. It's always surprising. I feel like I'm locking, like this elbow to me feels like it's locking out, but it's not. And it's always surprising because it feels that way. All right, we've done our prep. We're out ready for the workout. 20-minute AMRAP, run 400, 10 ring rows, 20 push-ups, 30 air squats. A final note on the air squat. Again, I'm taking a appropriate squat stance, so I'm not super wide. I'm just shoulder or hip width. Toes are turned out ever so slightly, just for me. I'm gonna grip the ground with my toes and screw my feet in, screwing them in this way so that the bottom of my foot is off of the ground. Okay? Even if you have flat arches, you should create an arch by screwing your knees in, screwing your feet in. Screw them in, which naturally sends my knees towards my toes. I send my arms out to balance and kind of force me into my heels. So my toes and my heels stay on the ground the entire time. And I'm standing all the way up. I squeeze my butt and my abs at the top, and I don't stay bent over. All right, that was my final note on the workout. Go work out. Let's talk accessories. So we're on our second week of the back squat accessory. So specifically back squat, we've been doing front squats. We're taking the barbell. We're gonna do sets of 4 working sets, so warm up appropriately. Then do a set of 8 at 60%, a set of 6 at 70%, a set of 4 at 80%, and a set of 3 at 85%. Take about 2 to 3 minute rest between sets. If you're actually pushing 85%, 3 reps at 85% is pretty heavy for most people. If you have a true 1 rep max, so make sure you're taking the appropriate amount of rest. Videotape these, and if you want me to judge them, text me, email me, send them on Facebook. Let me know, and I'll watch your form. Okay, you can dissect it and get better. The accessory work is 10 banded straight arm lat pull downs. I did not grab a band. Let me grab a band. Stay right there. Don't move. James thought I was talking to him. Okay. So this is not going to work that well because I need to put it over something that won't move, because that just moved. Okay. What this means is I'm going to take my hands to the inside corners of the band. The hands start at shoulder height. I'm gonna bend over ever so slightly, hinging, and then forcing my chest out and pulling my shoulders down. Notice that at the bottom of this position, so right here, my lats are engaged, keeping my chest out, and my neck feels nothing, because my shoulders are away from it. Because if you're like making this really hard, and you're like, oh, it doesn't feel like anything, that's when you start to engage your traps, okay? Any kind of upper posterior movement, a lot of times people engage their traps way too much, and that's a problem. 10 to 20 second L-sit hold. Again, practice the progressions, toes pointed and knees together. You could always do an L-sit tuck position, so I'll be holding the parallettes or the boxes or the chairs or the benches, whatever you have, and bringing my knees to my chest. That's the first one. Then we stick the other leg out, and we stick both legs out. 15 sit-ups, and then 1 minute forearm plank, so I'm on my forearms. We'll do 4 rounds of that at an easy pace. We're not timing this. All right? That is the accessory work for April 27th.